is Liam Halligan. Liam, we know these politicians who think it's OK to inflict 600,000 people on us legally. That's the legal migration figure. They haven't got a clue what it's like.
Indeed, on top of this legal migration figure, the gross figure, before you subtract people who left the country, often retiring in Spain and so on, a completely different demographic, the gross figure is 1.2 million.
Amazing.
Absolutely huge, which is roughly the size of Birmingham, our second city. There's been a real shift towards non-EU migration. Inward migration out of that 1.2 million from the non-EU is 925,000. From the EU, it's down sharply 151,000, even though, of course, Bev there in Boston is talking about legacy, if you like, immigration over many years from the EU, Bulgaria, Romania, Poland and so on, since that accession of the so-called A8 countries and then others in 2003 and then 2013 under Blair and then under the Tories. Humanitarian immigration has gone up from 9% to 19%.
This is Ukraine and Hong Kong.
And indeed Hong Kong. I don't think many people in the UK would question a lot of that. And I think the way the UK has embraced that phenomenon, you know, by the way, I had 4 Ukrainians living in my house for a year. Many of my friends in my market town in Middle England did as well. But I think there is a disconnect. And I think, how would it be, how would the British media, the broadcast media, be covering these immigration numbers if we didn't have a rather more vociferous now set of broadcasters, not least GB News. I do think, you know, I'm from immigrant stock, as you know, and you are as well. We're paddies from way back, right? And we're allowed to say that. And over the years, immigration into the UK has been met with an enormous amount of tolerance. But I do feel an affinity, I do feel understanding, even though I'm very much sort of professional middle-class person these days, with working-class people who have seen their wages compressed, who feel, you know, they're often from mixed communities themselves, and yet it's the pace of change. For them, high immigration isn't about race, it's about economics and financial security, particularly when they are heavily reliant, as so many of the media and political classes not, on state-financed resources, health, education, maybe council housing, and so on. And so I do feel that this is a bit of a watershed for the UK. I don't think we're a racist nation at all.
Certainly
we have
not.
Huge amounts of tolerance for immigration. Successive international studies have shown that again and again and again. But the political class needs to understand, for a lot of ordinary people out there, these numbers hurt.
They do. We need to talk at length about the energy price cap, so we're going to keep you after the break. But just give us, what have they announced today on that, Liam?
It is a bit complicated. We will need a little bit of time to talk about it after the break. But basically, the energy price cap that regulates household energy bills is falling. It's falling. The announcement was today. It will be implemented on July the 1st. For reasons I'll explain, even though headline bills will come down, people won't really feel that, even though wholesale prices of gas, which powers a lot of our electricity, sets electricity prices, however the electricity is generated, even though wholesale gas prices have come down sharply, largely because as that lower energy price cap is coming in, the government is withdrawing support to roughly the same amount. So don't expect massively cheaper energy bills anytime soon, unfortunately.
But the upside is the government will be spending less, so borrowing less.
Hopefully, yeah. On the other hand, the government didn't spend as much as it thought it would on that energy price guarantee because wholesale prices fell faster than we thought. It's really complicated. It's going to need a bit of explanation. But the headline is that even though the energy price cap is coming down, you may see a 5-10% reduction in your bills this summer, but nothing massive, because as the price cap is falling, the guarantee is falling, government support for energy bills, which for many of us amounts to around £400 a month in monthly instalments, was withdrawn in March.
Absolutely.